Unidentified episode number 17. There's getting quite a few. I say that every time, but like it's just the number keeps going up for some reason. It's weird. 17.
I think that's called counting.
What?
Arithmetic.
What are you talking about? What is this? Explain it to me.
Well, after 1 comes 2. After
Right.
2 comes 3. And it
Right.
just keeps going on forever.
Wait,
It's
you
called
lost me.
counting.
What
Did
comes
you
after?
ever see Sesame Street?
Like one time? But there was like an episode on pigeons.
Ah, well, that could do it as
Like
well.
the pigeons were around and they were like, this is the letter C. Sesame Street's a lot shorter. It used to be an hour long. It's only a half an hour now.
They got tired of making so many episodes. They made about 2,000.
They're still going?
Ideas.
Which makes no sense because the freaking DVD and VHS, they still freaking sell VHSs of Sesame Street because old people are idiots. But they sell like crazy. And they just watch them over and over again because kids are idiots.
They have,
Right.
oh Jesus, 4,378
Right.
episodes.
Holy shit.
Who does the voice of Elmo now?
Haven't a clue.
Does
They've
it
been
still
going
sound the same?
since-
Like, I'm sure they got to sound it like they had to.
They've been going since 1969.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Their YouTube channel has got 1.2 million subscribers.
Sesame Street's a big deal.
Not in Ireland.
But yeah, but in America, like, you see that Big Bird, you know exactly what it is. It's kind of like Mickey Mouse, almost. Maybe even more so, because Mickey Mouse has been kind of like in hibernation for years.
Yeah, there hasn't been a Mickey Mouse film in a long time.
Or there's probably been cartoons of them, but like, who watches them? I don't.
His last,
I never liked Mickey Mouse anyway, so it's not.
he's got no personality. His last big hit
he's
was
cute.
Fantasia.
He's cute. Like, that is his personality.
He's like Mario.
Fantasia wasn't even his movie. He had one segment in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Most
Fantasia
infamous.
is basically a music video, like an hour and a half long one, and
And everyone
Mickey Mouse
remembers
is
that.
10 minutes in it
But his scene is the one that steals it.
because it's iconic,
Yeah.
and that's the one they showed off anyway. They're like, we're going to market this toward people that like Mickey Mouse because otherwise no one's going to go see it because it's just a music video. That's all it is. And then they made another one, like Fantasia 2000, I think it was, and it was the weirdest thing ever because they got celebrities to do like commentary over it. It was so weird.
Weird.
So weird. Like Fred Willard, I think, is in it.
How many
guys know who that
episodes?
is?
How many episodes did you say Sesame Street made?
4,300.
Shit. Okay, I was just trying to figure out. Do you know that TV show Come Die With Me?
What's the math?
That's
of
like
that? How many episodes
like
of that?
That's a lot
A year.
of episodes. That's all I know. I'm not good at maths.
I feel like that's more. I feel like that's got to be more than 20 a year.
Yeah, anyways, I was just saying, I was looking at Come Die With Me. They have like 1,364 episodes. They have 30 series. Do you know this show, Randy? Come Die With Me?
No,
It's like,
I do not.
okay, so basically, it's like the best daytime TV show ever.
Yeah, more or less. If you've got
Irish?
nothing to do and just watch Come Die.
For an hour, it's great. Okay,
Is
so,
it an Irish thing?
no, it's a UK show. So,
I thought you guys weren't in the UK.
no, we're not.
Not.
It's
We
broadcast
get an awful
over.
lot of. We've only got 3 actual Irish channels. We get all of our stuff in the UK.
Yeah. It's great.
Did you
Anyways,
say Challenge?
Channels.
I was going to say, like, oh, wait.
selective dyslexia
You said that, and
strikes
then
again.
Nathan is accepting it. Is this how they say channels in Ireland?
I didn't want to
scared.
show him up. I didn't want to show him up.
Yeah, I didn't want
It's
to
like,
feel
wait.
bad.
No, but it was close enough to where I'm like, that could just be some weird way the Irish people say it.
Channel.
Challenge.
Anyways,
Change the challenge.
the way Come Die With Me works is they have like 4 people, right? Just random folks, right? And they all play chef for every day of the week. So, and everyone goes over to their house and rates the food. And it sounds really boring, which it kind of is. But then the narrator in the show, he just has this really snarky and sarcastic narration, and it's just great. You have to watch it to understand why it's so good, because I'm not doing it justice.
I'll take your word for it.
And yeah, they all get scores, and they all have to win £1,000 at the end. It's great. One woman won because she rang the restaurant next door, and she got all the furniture handed through the window and all the food. So she's like, "Look what I cooked," and it was just like kebabs from the shop down the road. She won. So,
How does one not in the UK or in the UK's vicinity get this?
I don't know.
Not that I would watch it anyway. Like, I don't have that much time. But
What do you mean, like, not watch it?
yeah, I mean, like, I'd watch it if I had time, but right now I'm just so busy that I have to spend my free time
Oh, how they
catching
watch,
up on Game of Thrones and stuff.
I don't know, if you're unemployed or something. if you're a mother who just stays at home, Come Die With Me is like the perfect show for you. Cause, all
right.
There you go.
There you go. There's an endorsement. 2 endorsements.
That's right.
Adam said it was good too, I think.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's just
something
perfect
to do.
daytime television.
Yeah.
So it's like the Roman Reigns promo of television.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you want to watch Dr. Phil in the afternoon. You're like, oh, Dr. Phil's on. Might as well watch it. Because nothing else to do. You know, it's afternoon TV. Afternoon TV is a different kettle of fish compared to regular TV.
I hate afternoon TV. When I was a kid and like you'd stay home, you know what I mean? You'd stay home when you're sick or something. And in the US, it's always the being sick ritual of Nick Jr., followed by Price is Right, followed by A Wasteland. It's freaking nothing. Because it's just all soaps and talk shows and stuff, and no one gives a crap about that stuff.
Oh.
How are they still going? How are soap operas still going? Do people actually enjoy those? I mean, eventually the generation that enjoy those will die, right? And then those shows will fail.
Yeah.
No, there's a new crop of people who watch it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Of course there
pretty
is.
big in
There are people
UK.
being born today that will grow up to like soap operas. Is that what
Oh
you're telling me?
no, being born today, not a hope.
Oh,
Like 20
yeah.
hours? Or 20 hours? 20 years ago? You're saying there were people like...
Yeah, probably all thought soaps would die as well.
Well, I know
Oh my
I know
God.
people my age that watch like soaps, like, but not US soaps, UK soaps, which is, I don't know,
On
probably.
the front page of the paper, I saw there's this big scandal that one of the soaps were making a girl who's 14 the show pregnant. That was the storyline they were going with. It was a big deal.
Wait, get
I
with
was-
the times, people. That's been happening for
Yeah,
decades.
I was thinking, wow, you're getting desperate now. It's going to be now in 10 years, girl 12 years old, raped and pregnant. Tune in tomorrow and find out the thrilling conclusion as we stretch it on for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the one thing, the balls that they have to have an episode every single day. No wonder those things don't ever move. Because they just have to fill so much time.
Yeah.
And do you understand why the camera's frame rate is so high? In soap operas, you know what I mean?
No.
They look so weird. The camera they use for soap operas is really weird.
I've never
I can't explain what, like, everyone in the US is like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
So I don't
maybe
know
it's
if
because it's
different.
really static, like it's not moving at all.
Like, it's so smooth, like unnaturally smooth.
Yeah.
It's like 60 frames a second for human beings, which is weird. It's so weird. I don't know. And then I remember there was episodes of Twilight Zones, the Twilight Zone that does it, and it drives me nuts there too. Like I can't watch those episodes. Fun fact: the Twilight Zone creator was born in the same town I was born in. Like the only famous guy ever to come out of my town.
This kind of sounds like a Twilight Zone episode a little bit. Like, it turns out you're the writer or something like that.
Picture, if you will. Yeah. All right. What are we doing? We're still doing a podcast.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast about
Wow.
games. Yeah.
Crazy. Video games.
What are those? Explain to me.
I mean, we talked about board games at one time. Mr. Bucket.
Poppy balls, mama.
Yeah, all right. So, from what I understand, none of us have really been playing anything.
We haven't been up to much now.
We can just kind of throw a game out there and just talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Adam said he wanted to talk about Ratchet and Clank.
No, I've been playing it.
Right.
But he also wants to
That
talk
means
about
you want to talk about it, right?
No, because you said it was your favorite, and I said it's my least favorite.
It's my favorite because it was more about platforming than it was about shooting, and they switched.
But the platforming isn't that good.
You're right.
The
But
double jump
I
is
like platforming a lot.
the
though.
double jump is weird.
There are sections in that game that are fun platforming sections, and there are almost none in the next ones.
the obstacle course
disagree.
level, though.
I would disagree. On I think the third planet, the desert planet, when you come off your spaceship and you turn around, there's a big kind of obstacle course to go through.
Right, wait, is that in the third one?
Second.
You mean the city?
Which is the one that has like the lava obstacle course and stuff? Is that the third one?
That's the second one. Or
That's
no,
the second one too.
Wait.
So I hate the third one then, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. I haven't played the third one in a long time.
One of these days I'm going to have to go back and play I still haven't played any of them since 3. I haven't.
You haven't played any future
No,
series.
I didn't have a PlayStation 3 until last year.
Those are really good. All of them.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's why
I have literally only played one, and that's it. So, there you go.
Good. That's good.
It's a humdinger right there. Yeah, I really
First
liked
one's
one.
good.
It was fun.
There are 8 more.
Oh god. So
That's why I like Sly Cooper better, because that game's more about platforming.
Sly
and
Cooper
I like the first one. I like the first Sly Cooper best because it's the most platformy of them all.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of did away with that. They turned it into this weird open world stealth game, which is fun, but it's a lot less of a platformer than it used to be.
I didn't. Yeah, I played the shit out of 3. I remember that, but
they need to come back.
Yeah,
platformers. Where the freaking balls are the 3D platformers?
Well,
Mario comes out every 5 years.
I think.
Mac.
Yeah, that was bad. People said that was shit.
I don't know what that is.
Knack, the PS4 game. It was like inspired.
Knack.
Sorry.
With a nunu.
Yeah.
Here I am thinking like some McDonald's thing. Like, where's a weird
the big Knack.
Mick and Mac, the 3D remake.
Knack at night.
Yeah. Knack wasn't even a platformer either. It was like a crappy children's beat 'em up.
No, I'm pretty sure it is. It's kind of like a platformer.
Just because it stars a cute, colorful character in a 3D space does not make it a platformer.
I can't verify because I haven't played it. But no, it says here, Knack, a brand new platformer for PlayStation 4.
But people thought Braid was a platformer. People still call it a platformer.
But this is definitely a platformer, like as in
I don't know.
Crash Bandicoot kind of platformer.
I don't know. Like, I remember seeing interviews of the guys like, no, I want to get away from platforming. I want to do a beat 'em up.
So
doesn't matter.
Did you guys play Crash Bandicoot much when you were
I love Crash Bandicoot.
You love Crash Bandicoot?
1, 2, and 3.
I played 1, 2, and 3, and I played the one after that on the PS2,
which was Wrath of Cortex.
Yeah, something like that. It was okay. It was okay,
and then after that, like, what the heck?
That's when they had like Twin Sanity or something.
Wrath of Cortex, I remember being like unbearably hard.
Yeah,
like to a fault. Like there was a lot of weird blind jumps that at least is what I remember. I haven't played it since I was probably 12 years old. So
let me just check. Wrath of Cortex.
Fact checking.
Barely remember this game. Actually, no, I do remember. I remember whenever I put in the disc into my PS2, it sounded like a jet engine taking off. It took up like so much power on my PlayStation. It was just like,
which is weird because it was pretty early on, wasn't it?
Yeah,
2002 maybe.
Yeah, that the missions at the end, the boss battles, the elemental boss battles. They were
I didn't get that
super
far.
hard.
I never beat it. So
well,
I didn't like it that much.
You didn't even get to the bit with the mech suit, which is like. Probably one of the best bits.
I may have. I don't know.
Good shit.
I never owned it. Like, it was a friend's game that I just played, so.
Yeah. What about you, Adam? Were you a big fan of Crash?
I played a bit of the first one, but years later. I didn't play it till probably.
So you probably liked it a lot less.
7 or 8. No, I think they're good. I haven't completed any of them though.
They're very good. They're hard.
Yeah, especially I've heard it's really hard to get 100%.
Oh yeah, big time.
That is the one game where I'm just like, it's not even fun to get 100% because they're so freaking ridiculous. The time trial, get all the box stuff, like it's ridiculous.
Like it was so hard they had to add like power-ups and stuff so you could like do the time trial missions. Like I think.
But even then,
you have to do a sprint button and shit. But
in 2 they added a sprint button. After you unlock it, like you beat a boss and you get a sprint button.
Yeah.
Until you get that, they're impossible.
Oh god,
like,
I remember
they're just freaking ridiculous.
I remember in first Crash Bandicoot, they had that one mission where it was like a suspended rope bridge, and then the warthogs running back and forth. That was insanely hard. Holy crap!
Yeah, yes. And then there's one like really dark levels with the torches that go off and on, and you gotta jump in the torch. It's a hard game.
I don't know why. I don't know why people love that game so much when it was so hard. Like you could probably only play up to a certain point and go, "I hate this game. It's just too hard."
I beat the crap out of that game when I was a kid. So
yeah, maybe that's.
No one could shut up.
Maybe that's it. It's like you had no other game to play.
When that's the only game you have.
Yeah, you have to keep going. You've no other choice.
That was that and Battle Arena Toshinden came with my PlayStation.
It's a mouthful.
Battle Arena Toshinden was bad. So yeah.
I remember distinctly getting Crash Bandicoot 3. I can't remember what it was called though. Warped? Yeah.
Warped.
Yeah. And Spyro 3, I think, was roughly around the same time. I can't remember, but I just remember Spyro 3 being
I never got into the Spyro games.
Well, I like
controlled weird to me.
Yeah, it was very weird control. But 3 just went, like, jumped the shark, just said, oh, we're just controlling everything. It had a skateboarding section, which was absolutely the best part of it. It was really good.
So it just turns into Tony Hawk. And
a little bit,
becomes
but
a good game.
Yeah, it's a little mini game. It's like, oh, you got to do some shredding. And you're like, okay. And then you have like a snowboarding level, and you're like, what is this? I was kind of pissed with that because you're like, oh, I have a snowboarding dragon, but I can't fly like a normal dragon would.
In true Randy fashion, when we talk about something random and minor comes up that I remember distinctly. No, not even. It's the Crash Bandicoot 3 when we brought that up, and I'm thinking of the intro where Cortex is like narrating the intro. He's like, Crash Bandicoot, and then he gets interrupted by some guy just going, warped!
Yeah, holy shit.
It's like, so it's Crash Bandicoot. Warped! It's so good. I love it.
It's very, very Poochie-esque. He needs more attitude. What does that mean? Oh, God.
Well, it was the 90s, so.
Yeah, it's true.
It was getting to the late 90s, too, so Mountain Dew was like all over the place.
Oh, God.
Capri Sun. Remember yeah. The weird Terminator kids that would fly around and skate. It was weird. The 90s.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
So that was Ratchet and Clank.
We didn't even talk about it at all.
I mean, it's not fresh enough on my mind that I can argue with that.
No, it's no one's touched it for years.
Yeah.
He's probably right. He's probably right in that 2 and 3 are better. I just remember 1 playing it when it first came out, and then not playing 2 and 3 until way later. So I probably had the memory of 1 higher up in my mind.
Yeah. I barely remember
like,
1.
It was so long ago. I remember the first one being like the greatest game ever.
All I really remember from 1 is just the guy who's like, it's like, rip ya a new one. It's like,
yeah, the rhino.
The rhino. That's all I remember. And I remember trying to save up for it. Holy crap.
The collecting bolts has to be the most satisfying minor collectible of all time.
Oh,
it feels so good when
you smash a box and a million bolts come out. Yeah. Oh, so good.
And then you get, I think it's not in the first one, but in the second game, you get something that allows you to gather in more bolts from around you.
Oh, yeah, and like, and when they're all on the ground and you, like, use it and it just goes,
and you can also get this thing for your wrench where when you smash it, it breaks open box around you. So when you combine that with the vacuum almost that just sucks up bolts, so you walk into a room, you see there's 19 boxes all waiting to be smashed open at once. Jump up, smash them, and just this wave of bolts comes into get this
stop
warm
it, you're
feeling.
turning me on.
I loved Ratchet and Clank so much when I first played it. I thought the gadgets and the weapons were like so cool. Like stuff like I remember the Pyrocenter.
The first one they weren't that crazy though. I guess that's the weird thing.
They were
about
just
it.
like one was like the suck cannon. I thought it was like the coolest weapon ever. You could just,
except it was kind of useless because you could barely ever use it because you had to use it on small enemies first.
But
and then kind of like, can you put it away after you put? I think you can.
I think so.
Suck enemies up and then put it away. Like, all right, the next big guy is going freaking down.
But I just remember being obsessed with the gadgets and stuff and actually drawing them and thinking, oh, they're so cool. Did
the first one have the Sheepinator? Was that one?
No.
That was the second one.
The second one, I think.
Well, the first one did have like a transforming thing though, didn't it? I want to say it did.
Not really. They had a lot of gloves. I remember that.
That there was sheep and then there was like goat. I don't know. One game had sheep, another game had a different animal, I'm pretty sure.
I'm on the
crazy.
wiki here for all the weapons in Ratchet and Clank, and like they just look hilarious. Like Quacko-Ray. What is that?
Yeah, they get really wild.
Turns into a duck, probably.
Probably from Up Your Arsenal. I love the titles. So good. Up Your Arsenal. Going Commando.
Going Commando.
They kind of lost it though. Like Tools of Destruction doesn't really.
Size matters. They were Tools of Destruction.
Wait, but a crack in time.
That's great.
Crack in Time is
Quest for Booty.
I mean, that's close. The other ones are just so on the news, like Going Commando,
Full Frontal
Size Matters, Up Your Arsenal. Like those are kind of right there. Like, but then Crack in Time, you're like, yeah, butt crack, whatever.
Was there one game where it was just like an arena kind of game?
Deadlock.
Yeah.
Oh god, that game sucks.
I really liked it.
Oh god, I hated it. It was just a shooter.
Yeah.
An arena shooter.
I remember playing it and thinking, this is not a Ratchet and Clank game, but
it was fun when I had a friend to play with, but because there was co-op and that was fun. But man, that was weird.
I just distinctly remember
there's
being
some cool
in
rails section. I remember on that though. All the games kind of have cool rails section.
You should seriously play. I remember playing the Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction, the first one on the PS3.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh, this is so pretty. The bolts are so shiny. Look at everything.
It was
it's
like
so colorful.
the first PS3 game that's like, take it, Xbox.
Yeah.
Do the, like, yeah.
It was gorgeous.
But now...
oh no, it still looks great.
I'm sure it looks good,
fantastic.
but it's not going to blow me away like it would have if I played it when it first came out. So.
I'm going to be really interested to see what the PS4 one, when they're going to be doing they're basically redoing the first game, but on the PS4.
Yeah,
no
that's
shit.
weird.
Nice.
That's really weird. And they're doing a movie.
Yeah, which is going to have more or less the plot of the first game,
Right.
but also Dr. Nefarious is going to be in there, and
Because that's
Galax-
everyone's favorite villain.
yeah,
He was pretty funny.
he's hilarious.
It's all about the Quark for me. It's the only guy I remember.
But he's not a villain. He's like an anti.
he was a villain in the first one, right? And he turned into
Yes, he was. Yeah,
Villain is a bit of a stretch. Like
He's
just
anti-hero,
kind of
I guess.
greedy scumbag.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So that's Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
The hot new releases we're talking about here.
Randy, any games?
Nathan, have you seriously played absolutely nothing?
Yes, I seriously played absolutely.
Really nothing?
No, not really. I played more Rogue Legacy, but I already talked about
Is
it
there
last week.
anything different? Do you have a different opinion on Rogue Legacy?
No, not really. It's super grindy, and you know,
So good.
it's good. I like it. It's just
I like it.
yeah, you got to sink a lot of hours into it, and then you finally make
Yeah, you do.
a tiny bit of progress. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
you do.
That's the way it works.
But it's like the grind is part of the fun, though. Like, it's not, for me anyway. I don't know.
It's a little bit. I don't know.
If it's not your thing,
I like it. It's just
you're wrong, but that's okay.
I'm wrong. It's just like I don't know. It's pretty balls hard. Like I remember playing the game.
Point!
No, I remember playing the game at the very start and going down into the dungeon, and I was like, "Holy crap! How the hell am I meant to play
Yeah,
this
you're
game?"
not supposed to do that.
But even then, I was thinking, even when I get better at the game, it's still going to be pretty tough.
No, it's not even better. You just gotta get stronger. Like your character's way too weak for those other areas.
That's true.
Right off the bat. Like you're not even supposed to make. Like I don't even know how you made it that far that quickly. Like because usually the castle area is still pretty hard early on. So I don't know.
Like a lot of weaving and ducking, I guess. The only thing I
You
hate
just
about the
avoided
game,
everything.
yeah, a little bit. I just avoided everything and hit
Supposed to kill
chandeliers.
stuff and get the gold.
No, I used to hit the whatever, like chandeliers and boxes and stuff to get the coins, so I did it that way.
Controls are great.
The only thing I don't like about the game is whenever you buy something, the price of everything else goes up, which is like, it's
Which
up.
makes sense.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like, I had it perfectly planned out the first time. I'd saved up loads of money. I was like, okay, I'm going to upgrade my health and upgrade my my damage. And then when I bought the health, the damage went up, so I was like really pissed off.
First thing you should do is unlock the classes.
Yeah, I've unlocked most of the classes, I think. I've unlocked the Lich, I can't remember the other guy, the ninja kind of dude, the spell thief, and the miner. I think that's it.
Isn't there one that takes more damage but does way more damage?
I'm
Maybe
not
that's a trait.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
remember. It's been a while. So
Yeah, my favorite class is the ninja dude, because he's just so overpowered. Like, he has strength, but he can't critical. I think that's
maybe that's
the
what I'm
trait.
thinking of.
Yeah, so I've defeated 2 bosses already, actually. I defeated the eye dude and the skull
There you go. So what are you talking about?
guy. No.
There's only-
Those sections were easy, but I don't know. The other ones are a lot tougher because the enemies in them. Like there's one with a Hulk Knight where he just
If you
basically.
want to make a case that the difficulty ramp is too high between sections, then
No.
I'll give it to you, but
No. It's not unbearable. It's a lot harder. Like because you have to.
What you're supposed to go is you're supposed to go to the castle area, and then you go to the one to the right, and then you go to the bottom one, and then you go to the wait.
No, you
I
go.
don't remember which one you go. You go to the top one first, and then the bottom.
No, you go. Yeah, you go top first and then go down to the dungeon because the dungeon's like pretty tough.
Why are my palms itchy?
I don't know. You're
Is that a weird thing?
itching to play Rogue Legacy. That's why. Which
Like
you
there
did.
is-
You did say that last week, though. To be fair.
Yeah, I did kind of say that, but it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't subject yourself to that. If you have anything to do not pick up Rogue Legacy. Oh, I'll play this for 10 minutes. Nope, it's not happening.
No, like that. I said that last time. That's kind of what I play. Oh, I could just do one run.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
just
be done with it.
anyone, just anyone in general. Just do not do it. It's like I said, I would get Ollie and play that for like 10 minutes. It's like skip.
Screw Ollie Ollie.
Hey, Ollie Ollie's good. Yeah,
I don't have Vita, so that's probably why I
played
say
it for 20 minutes. I don't have a Vita. I got it for PS4, and I still like played.
Wait, there's a PS4 version?
It's crossplay.
I thought it was only on the Vita.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Neat.
Cool.
I don't have a PS4 either, so there you go.
Well.
Screw Ali Ali is basically what I'm saying.
I do have a game.
Adam, have you ever played Rogue
Legacy? There you go.
I played a little bit of it, but I didn't get into it. I think I played on PC,
Yeah,
I believe, but that was before I got my graphics card updated, and it kind of was chugging.
Wait, it was... Wow. Your
That's how bad my... Yeah. I kind of got everything else really nice, but I skimped on the graphics card. I was making my PC initially because I thought, all the processing for video rendering is done through the... All the rendering is done through the processor. I'll splash out in that, and who cares about graphics? And then I couldn't play any games, and I went, this is shite. So yeah, I'll go back to it someday, but it's a fine game for sure.
It's on PS3. And 4, I think.
Yeah, it's on 4. It's free this week on PS Plus. That's why.
Well, there you go, Adam.
It's free.
On
Why this week?
PS4. PS4.
I mean this month?
This month, sorry. PS4.
Okay, yeah.
PS Plus, yeah.
It's a free game.
Yeah. I do have another game coming to post, which
What
is Destiny.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You were getting it.
Yeah, because I said to myself, I don't want to buy another game until May, which is when The Witcher comes out. And I need something to just dip back into and play every so often, because like a lot of the games I have, I got for Christmas were just kind of story games.
Just for PS4?
Yeah, for PS4. And
So-
I have Destiny coming for PS4, so see how it goes.
Man, I'm still not all the way turned off of the idea of Destiny. There's stuff about it that I want.
You played it on
guess it's the thing is
PS3, didn't you, or PC? No, you don't get PC.
PS3.
Version, sorry.
I wish it was on PC. PC. I totally
Yeah, it's not even on PC.
I don't know. Like the game is so messed up, but it's almost what it needs to be. Not really. That's not true, but it's the only thing of what it needs to be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's the only thing that I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. Like I want it to be what it is, but better.
Right.
Do you understand?
I guess
it's the only thing that it is.
Not really.
There's nothing else really out there like it.
Yeah, I guess.
And until it has competition, it is kind of the best of what it is.
That's true. I've been reading a lot of people's opinions on it, because the reviews were all over the place. Like, just 4s and 6s and 8s and 9s, like, and even like Games Radar gave it Game of the Year, and it's like, hang on a second. Well,
It's such a freaking divisive thing.
exactly.
I don't think anyone, I think everyone, that's the one thing about it though, is all the negative reviews, there's not a single person on there who's like, you're freaking wrong. He's like, no, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But there are people that just accept it more. You know, they're
That's
just
true.
like, I accept this garbage because I like what it does. And that's kind of where I'm at about it. Like, I really want to like what it does. I'm almost willing to forgive what it does wrong because of what it does. And like I said, is the only thing that does it. So, basically.
As I said, I've been reading reviews, and one kind of comment that stood out to me was this guy just said, "I hate Destiny so much, but it's my favorite game." And I was like, "Okay, how does that work?" So he went on to explain that like you do all this work to get repetitive missions, and you just do all this to get a chance to get something cool, and
Right.
once you get it, you're like super pumped. You're like, "Yeah, cool, brilliant." After getting something really decent. And also the fact that you get to play with your friends and have you get to chat with your friends. He said even when he was playing the game, he was just like bullshitting with his friends and was saying, "This game sucks," but like you're still playing it. So I think
that's kind of the other part where I'm at with it, is that like any game is fun when you add co-op.
Yeah.
Almost.
You
add co-op to it and it becomes, and the raids in it look really like legitimately awesome. And I really want to do them, but
yeah.
man, the grind. You want to talk about grind. The stories I am hearing about the grind in that game are unbelievable.
I played GTA Online, and that game was super grindy, but I'm terrified to see what the grind is like in Destiny.
Yeah, but I guess correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no content locked away in GTA Online because of grinding, right?
No.
You cannot get into the raid unless you grind.
In terms of, no. Okay, so if someone higher up has a mission, like level 50, it was given. Yes, you can invite someone lower into the mission. But in terms of weapons, cars,
but
a lot
that's
of them are
not
locked.
content. Like, I don't count that as content.
Well,
those
yeah, I
are
suppose.
accessories
But
to
I
content.
kind of would, because you kind of need them to play the game. Like, if you have a crappy gun and everyone else has way better guns in like a
But imagine
PvE
there
mission.
are missions that you literally cannot do unless you spend 20 hours doing a mundane task. Like,
Yeah.
that is the equivalent
It's
of the raid.
okay. Some missions you kind of need sticky bombs, like you require sticky bombs, because otherwise you have to get out of the car or shoot, or you either like get super lucky by throwing a grenade. So,
Also,
you know,
GTA Online is this secondary component to this game that has a buttload of content.
yeah, that's also
So, like,
true.
that's the
There you
other
go.
side of the coin, is that Destiny is like, hey, this game doesn't have that much content. Once you get to the end where the good content is, you still have to grind through that crappy content that you didn't like in the first place. Also, pay us $20 for more if you want.
That's
what?
that's a crazy thing. I've heard people say that the DLC is practically compulsory. You almost need to have the DLC to play the game, which is crazy. I'm like, what? Which I'm glad I got it cheap. I only got it for like 25, I think, 25, 30. So, you know.
See, like, if that's the price I would plunge. If I end up with a PS4 eventually, and if that's where it's at, then I'll be like, all right, maybe I'll.
Yeah. I gotta get that.
Because once
gotta get that
Bloodborne comes around, I'm going to be like,
Gotta get that Bloodborne. I'm super pumped. I mean,
once Bloodborne comes out, it's the prospect of a PS4 is going to become a little less ignorable. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
We can share play, Andy. High five.
Could have, yeah. That's weird.
I've never used it, and I want to see. I was like, people are like, oh, I saw it once with like he share played Dying Light, and I was like, oh, okay.
The idea of so the one thing that you can do is you can turn a local only game into an online game, which is cool.
That's true.
Like, that's a cool idea. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I have no
Internet
use
connection.
for it ever.
That's all. You
Like,
need to
oh
do.
yeah, like, play the game for me. No, I don't want you to do that. I don't care how hard it is. I don't think there's ever been a game where I'm like, just freaking do this for me.
Yeah.
If there's a game that makes me not want to play it anymore, I just won't freaking play it. Like, it's not like, oh, but I just need to get past this part because I love this game.
It's like it's like a Big Brother thing where you're like, you can't get past the section in like Tomb Raider or whatever, and you can hand the controller to your brother, and he does it, but then he doesn't get back. Which happened a lot with me and my cousins, because he would just take the controller and just not give it back, and I would have to sit and watch while
Well, that's the
he
thing.
beat up a T-Rex.
I didn't have my little brother was born when I was 11, so like I was past that age, you know. Like, once there was I didn't have a person to share the games with. Like, it was me or nothing. So like, I guess that's the thing where I'm at. If I don't want to get past a section, I just won't get past that section. I won't ask anybody to do it for me.
Yeah.
I just won't do it because it's not worth it to me.
Well, if I think about it, the last time I got stuck on a section, it wasn't because it was difficult. It was just because it was badly designed. As in, there was no clear point to where I was meant to go. It was just, and I was like walking around going, where am I meant to go? And that was that was an alien, because I didn't have a clue where I was meant to go.
Really?
Yeah. And I was looking at the map, and it was like, I have no idea where to go, because the thing about the map is it stacks. Let me try to figure it out. Yeah, I had to go on a shuttle or something like that, but the shuttle, the map didn't have the correct icon in the correct place, so it was like, where am I going? And eventually I figured it out, because I had to go and look for a guide. Sounds really stupid. But yeah, there you go. That's the last time I got stuck on something, because it's just bad design.
So I'm about to talk about Zelda to two people that don't give a crap about Zelda.
You're falling on deaf ears.
I've played 1 hour of Zelda ever. No, 2.
Whoa! Settle down.
I've only played a little bit as well. I only got as far as the fucking dancing rock golem dudes in Ocarina, so...
I didn't even get that far.
Part of me just wants to wait until L eventually shows up, but God knows when that's going to happen, so I should probably just get this out.
Right, go ahead.
How is it, Randy? Is it any good?
But the thing, like,
Okay,
I don't know.
Should I spend
You're
money
not
on
going
it?
to be able to like reciprocate this conversation, neither of you, because you don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, okay.
Should you guys especially? No, not a freaking chance.
Okay.
Because you guys don't like Zelda. This is a bad one. Bad is harsh.
It's not that we don't
I'm indifferent.
Yeah, we missed that bus when it went past.
All right, I'll try to explain it so you guys understand.
Go ahead.
Majora's Mask is a weird game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird game. It is an experiment. Like, it's not just
David Lynch
simple...
of video games. Yes.
Kinda.
I've heard that multiple times.
Like, that's not bad.
It's Mulholland Drive of video games.
A little bit less than that, I would say. Like, it's
yeah.
It's basically like a weird ROM hack for Ocarina of Time, if that makes sense. It's weird. It is a weird game. Like, it's Zelda in name and dungeon only, kinda. And combat, I guess.
But how is it weird? What's weird about it?
It's weird because it doesn't really... So the whole gameplay hook is you get 3 days and the world ends. You start, 3 days later, the world ends.
Okay.
You have to complete everything in 3 days. 3 gameplay days, not real days.
So, is this game running on a timer kind of deal?
Yes.
Dead
very
Rising,
much so.
kinda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very much so. The difference
I'm
is...
immediately like, oh.
The difference is you're allowed to turn back time
Okay.
with the Ocarina of Time.
If I could turn back time. You get to play share.
The thing is, though, the thing, like I said, the thing is about 3 times, but another thing is that when you turn back time, you kind of lose all of your items. You lose all of your items. You lose some of your items. It doesn't necessarily explain which items they're going to remove or why.
Right.
It's just kind of like, hey, these items that are highlighted, you're going to lose them. But why not this one? No, you need that. Well, I kind of need this other one too. Like, why are you taking them from me? Like, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Like, in theory, like, I turn back time, if you either go all or nothing with it, either it stays on me because I have them, or you take everything because I turn back time and I no longer have, so that's the thing. I complete a dungeon, I turn back time, that dungeon is still complete. Can you explain to me why that happens? No. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't get why they did this. And the gameplay hook is that there are NPCs in the game that kind of go on a schedule, and you have to plan the side quests and some of the main quests around their schedule. So like, this guy only does it on sunrise on the second day, and you have to go and see him then. The problem is that the only thing you can do is either speed up time. That's not true. I guess you can warp forward in time. You just can't warp back to a specific time. If you go back in time, you have to go back to the very start. You can't pick a time. So it's a pain. Right. If you miss a freaking time, like, crap, I missed that guy by 5 minutes or whatever, then I have to go back to the start of the freaking time and wait for him again. And all this stuff is weird. On top of that is that you have to keep cycling through masks in order to do certain things. And it's not as simple as just put on a mask and this is the mask you're going to be using for a while. It's put on a mask for 2 seconds, do the puzzle that it requires you to do, take it off because you need to be human so you can use the bow and arrow. Like, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, and on the N64 it was horrible because you had to go into the menu every time you needed to do it. In this you can just map it to the touchscreen, so it's not as bad, but it's still annoying. Like, there's a cutscene that plays every time you do it. You can skip it, but still just a little too much. It sounds like I'm nitpicking, but when you do it enough and you do it a lot, it gets annoying. But then you get into oh man, does that game take a while to get going? You know the Zelda, the tradition of taking 2 hours to get to the actual meat of the game.
Yeah,
because you guys should know that at all because
we never made it.
Yeah, you never made it to the meat of the game because it takes so long to get going, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean,
no, that's exactly what you're talking about.
I thought it wasn't the meat of the game as the section I was at. I don't know. I just remember the Deco tree bit, Ocarina being super.
Well, if you
long.
got to the Deco tree, that's kind of where it opens. But if you got to the Deku tree, then you're actually playing the game. Like, there are puzzles, there's combat and all that stuff. But most Zeldas, starting with Ocarina of Time, start in a town, and you have to talk to a bunch of people.
Right.
And, like, that stuff sucks. Nobody likes that. And Zelda's got a really big criticism because of that. This is the worst of them all! By a freaking mile! Like, it is so bad. First of all, you get transformed into something that's the Deku tree thing, like the little shrubs or whatever. You turn into one of those.
What?
So you're not a human.
Yeah, you turn into a little shrub. Why?
Yeah, you can't use your sword, you can't use your shield, you can't use anything.
Right.
Why? Because this game's stupid. That's why.
Cool. There you go.
I guess the idea is that... No, I don't know. I don't know why. I literally can't come up with a reason why they would make you do this. And then you have to go into this town that you've never seen before, and they're like, you have 3 days to become human again, and since you aren't human and don't have the ocarina back yet, because the ocarina gets taken from you right off the bat, you have 3 days, you can't change the time. So 3 days, if you don't make it, sorry. Like, and then you have to start over.
Right.
And it's not as simple as walking in and being like, hey, this is it. It's right there. Like, no, you have to figure out what's going on. You have to talk to these stupid children that'll be like, oh, I hear if you go here at night, then there's this thing. And then you grab this thing and he's like, no, wait, no, I meant over there. And then you go over there and there's a great fairy. Like, but the great fairy is split into a whole bunch of different fairies. So go find one of the fairies to complete me. Like, okay, but the fairy's over there at night. You have to be at night. There's the night. Okay, there. I had to launch up there, grab the fairy, go back to the great fairy. They're just like, okay, here you go. Now you can shoot. Now once you shoot, you can shoot the freaking balloon, and now the stupid little child will talk to you, and the child's like, hey, let's go play hide and seek. Once you play hide and seek, they give you the code to get into the underground base. Once you get into the underground base, you can see that the stupid Deku kid that turned you into the thing was on top of the windmill. You have to wait until freaking the third day before you can get into the windmill. So if you did this quickly, then you have to just sit there and do nothing until it opens. Once it opens, you turn back into a human. Freaking finally, you get the ocarina, you go back in time. The mission in theory starts, but it actually doesn't, because once you go through the north, you get to the thing where you have to like cross a boat, and then, hey, wait a minute, the boatmaster's not there. She's over there. Like, you go over there. No, just kidding. The boatmaster's in the forest. Once you go in the forest, there's a freaking stupid, like, oh, follow the monkey through the hidden forest, otherwise you'll get warped back to the front. Once you follow the monkey, you meet the boatmaster. Oh, the boatmaster needs a potion. You need to go back right to where she was originally to get the potion. Go back into the forest, follow the monkey once again. Freaking give her the potion. She goes back, finally. Like, you can ride the boat. The boat takes 18 hours to get to where you need to go. Once you do that, there's a crappy stealth section. As soon as you get seen in the stealth section, you get thrown back to the beginning. It doesn't make any sense. There's no vision cones. It just, hopefully you don't get seen. Once you get through there, you finally get to you get to a little part where I almost skipped a part. You actually have to fly over the swamp with your little Deku thing. Once you do that, finally you're at the entrance of the dungeon and the game actually starts.
Wow.
This takes like
intense.
4 hours.
Jesus Christ.
And is freaking ridiculous. I'm sitting there just like, what is happening? The things where you go to the spot where you think you have to go and they keep sending you off into a different area. It's
the way you say this just makes it sound like a made-up game. Like, you have to go to this place and do this, and then you go to... It
doesn't
sounds
it?
Crazy. Yeah, it sounds like a trope, like someone who made up a game has never played a game.
And that was me just, like, hitting the bullet points. Like, you still have to travel between these areas, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as simple as, like, they're right next to each other. You have to run. You have to run there.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
That was great.
And that's if you don't know the time to slow down time, which I discovered accidentally. So if I didn't get the thing to slow down time, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it to the freaking dungeon in time. If you don't make it to the dungeon in time, you have to start back at the beginning and do it all again. Because it's, why? And the time doesn't stop once you get in the dungeon. The dungeon takes like an hour, so if you don't make it to the end of the dungeon in time, you gotta do the whole dungeon again. What the heck? I can't believe it.
I feel like this is very one-sided because
this is freaking ridiculous.
I can't comment.
We will record everything I just said. We will cut it out. We will send it to L. I want a definitive response of why any of that is okay. From anybody. If anybody hears that and tells me why that's okay, I will be willing to listen, but somehow I think you will struggle. Because that is ridiculous.
Come here to me. I have a question for you. Are you still playing this game?
I haven't since I beat the first dungeon.
Alright, but since all of that malarkey you just described, did you still play the game afterwards?
No.
Okay.
Wow, really?
I have not played it since.
Right, fair enough.
I'm going to because I spent money on it, and I want to know. I want to know why people love this game so much. I'm waiting for it. That first dungeon, great. It's a great first dungeon.
Mm.
But every Zelda has great first dungeons.
Yeah.
Basically, if you like Zelda. Mm-hmm. So why is it okay? Like, why is the stuff around it worth it? Play a different Zelda. Play a different game. Play Darksiders. That game's great. Just what the... I just want to know what the love is for this game. I didn't understand it back then. Now I have a bigger understanding of why I hated it back then.
I thought people just loved it because it was weird. Like, it was just...
But it's weird in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's not like... It's weird. Like, the time mechanic stuff in let's just say Dead Rising is weird, but it's like there's something to it. I don't know what it is about it. Like, maybe because your stuff carries over if you fail, you know what I mean? Like, you can... And the fun of that game is killing zombies. Like, who gives a crap about the time limit if you don't make it? Yeah. You can start over and it's not the end of the world. But
that kind of annoys me at the same time until they added, like, the unlimited mode, where it's like, I only get to play it for so long.
I liked it just because it was so unique. Like, and they did it in a different... Like, this is just... I don't know. It's just cumbersome. It doesn't feel...
Right. It's...
good.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't... it doesn't seem to... Like, the biggest bummer about it is the time thing that doesn't... It's not consistent. Like, here, we're taking these items, but not these items. You're losing these rupees unless you put it in the bank. Like, I just don't... I don't get it. Why does the bank save your rupees? Like, how does it know? Like, if you go back in time, how does it have the rupees that you put in the bank? Well, it doesn't explain any of this stuff.
It feels like primer right now.
And if everybody comes to me and is like, oh, it gets great later on, like, that's not a freaking acceptable answer. I've been playing for 4, maybe 5 hours. It's not okay. I'm sorry. It's not. Sure, if it gets amazing, I just don't know. Like, I hate that argument anyway. Like, yeah, it gets so good later on. Like, why do I have to punish myself to get to the good stuff?
So, did you buy a new 3DS to play this, or did you borrow one?
Well, the yes and no.
Right.
My girlfriend owed me money.
Mm.
And you spent it on this?
No, I didn't. let me explain how it happened. My girlfriend owed me money. I was like, okay, pay me back when you can. She could. I expressed a passing interest in getting a new 3DS. So instead of paying me back, she just shows up with a new 3DS. Like, here you go. Like, oh.
Where's my money?
Yeah, that's gotta be. Jesus.
No, like, I was probably going to get one anyways. I'm like, okay. Well, it's just... Right.
But still, passing interest does not mean the same as need to buy.
Right.
But nice surprise all the same.
It was okay. That's a bit of an exaggeration, too. It was more than a passing interest. It was like I think I'm going to go stop at GameStop and look into this. Because I have my old 3DS, and if you trade it in, it shaves like half the price off or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. If I do that, then... But then she did it without the half the price thing, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was saying that tends to happen with me as well. Where I'm like, if I have a slight interest in a game, and if I investigate it, it just grows, and like that's what happened with Destiny. I saw it for £25 pre-owned, then looked into reviews.
It's basically free at that point.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. But they're like, hey, if you hand in your 3DS, we'll give you this for half off. I'm like, ooh.
Oh, how was the transfer? How did that go? Or did you?
Oh my god.
I have heard nothing but bad things from people who have had to do this.
That is so bad.
Like, what's the transfer?
So to transfer your games and data over to the new 3D, it's not as simple as logging in and re-downloading the games, because that would make sense. You actually have to transfer all of your data from one system to another for it to accept. Otherwise, you lose all of your games.
It's like the Gordian knot of fucking video games. It's just this fucking complex puzzle.
It takes forever, first of all.
It's hilarious.
It takes so long. And you have to, if you don't have like an SD card reader on my computer, which I don't, you have to do it over Wi-Fi. So like if you lose internet while it's happening, you're out of luck. Adam's just like...
Adam perfectly encapsulated how fucking difficult
But not only that, is that...
Annoying as hell.
Is that it gives you...
So Nintendo.
1,800... stupid little notifications like, are you sure you want to do this? You won't be able to switch back. Like, you won't be able to undo this once you do it. Like, yes! I want to do it! Stop asking me. And it's like, all right, go over to the next screen. And then you pick up the other 3DS. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Yes! On both 3DSs, yes, I want to do this. Oh my god, it was so bad.
I think
then finally, I hit 16 billion notifications, and then it's like, you don't have enough room on this new one. Clear up space.
No.
I'm like, are you kidding me? You couldn't have said that before I started this. And then I had to go in and delete stuff, and then, oh my god, and then I had to do the whole process again. I had to play the Song of Time to get back to the stupid beginning, and it took away my stylus because I got it after. No, I'm kidding, but
Look, you need to trade in Majora's Mask and get the new Monster Hunter because, like, this just sounds awful. You sound like legitimately like annoyed and angry at this
I needed to know.
And
I needed to know.
Maybe Monster Hunter would cheer you up.
And to be honest, like the 3DS version of Majora's Mask is cheaper than the N64 at this point. So I needed to know. And it's better because it looks better. It has a second quote-unquote analog stick. That is the worst stick I've ever seen in anything ever. It's not even a stick. It's a nub that sticks out that doesn't move. I'm not kidding. It doesn't move. You kind of rub it and it moves like the screen. You just kind of...
Oh, God.
Now that it's like describing a clitoris. It's bad. Just like, oh, it's this little nub that you rub and it does things.
Wow, to a point right there.
It doesn't move. It's not a stick. You don't tilt it. It just, you kind of press one side of it and it's like, yeah, we'll move the screen for you. Like, but then it doesn't feel good at all. But for moving the camera, I guess it's okay.
Oh, the 3DS is
as long as it doesn't I lost what I was going to say.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay. So as long as the second analog stick is not required for like aiming or something important, it should be all right.
Oh, God.
So that was my experience.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed Majora's Mask anyways.
Oh.
Oh, fucking hell. That sounds
I can't believe it.
I would love to be in the room with you playing this game. I just can imagine the passion and
my
anger
girlfriend
in
was
your face.
sleeping next to me, and there are times where I'm like, she's sleeping, don't audibly yell. I'm sorry. The part where I almost gave up when, like, I found the boatmaster in the forest, and she's like, no, go back to the potion shop, get a potion, and then go through this forest again. I'm like, I cannot believe. Are you freaking? I was just at the potion shop. You couldn't have told me I needed this before I walked in there. Are you kidding me?
They didn't have phones in Zelda times. Come on. You have to accept the reality right here.
I don't care. Oh.
So
I had magic.
anything else you've been playing that doesn't infuriate you?
No.
Everything else infuriates you.
What did I feel like I played more Dying Light. I did.
You got Dying Light?
Oh yeah, you did. Oh yeah, you weren't on last week.
You weren't here when I was talking about it.
Yeah, you got down.
Okay, so that's weird because there was another case of someone owed me money and didn't actually give me the money back.
You got
Or
terrible
no, wait. I owed them money. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so last podcast I was talking about how I owed my friend money because he bought me a game a while ago, and I'm like, I'll just buy you a game whenever you want one. And he's like,
I gotta pay rent. Come on.
instead, and then Dying Light was coming out, and he's like, okay, we should buy Dying Light. I'm like, okay, so you want me to buy you Dying Light? He's like, well, no, because then you need to buy Dying Light. I'm like, well, I'm not buying 2 copies of Dying Light, so if you want Dying Light, you're playing it by yourself. He's like, well, what if we buy ourselves Dying Light? I'm like, but that doesn't work, because then I still owe you a game. He's like, no, I'll wipe the slate clean if you buy yourself Dying Light. I'm like, so the game that you want for me to pay you back is for me to buy myself Dying Light. It's like, no, I want you to gift me Dying Light, and then I will gift you Dying Light. I'm like, but that doesn't work either. Because then I owe you. He's like, no, just do it. And then we tried to gift each other. He's like, no, that's stupid. Why don't we just buy ourselves Dying Light? So we bought ourselves Dying Light, and we're playing it together. And now I don't owe him money. I made sure, like, several times, like, okay, if I buy myself Dying Light, I do not owe you anything. This is binding contract.
Just at the last second, he says, no.
So I've been playing Dying Light. It's pretty good. You want to hear about it?
Have you tried any of the mods? Because I think they had mod support.
I did not know they were mods.
Yeah, I think there was some, what was it? Some hoo-ah about, like, about there being, like, no mods in it, and then I can't remember. Techland, thank you. Well done, Nate, thanks.
You're welcome.
They patched in mods to it, so yeah, there you go.
Everything I said last week holds true. The combat's boring. Mm-hmm. The story is better than it has any right to be.
Oh, did you get to the section with the? I don't want to say in case you already have it, or you don't
I
have
got to
it.
the new area.
Well, it's to do with traversal. You know, the big. I won't say because you probably didn't get it then.
Like the obstacle course thing?
No. It's this little thing you get, like a little gadget you get to help you move around.
Oh, the grappling hook.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, that's not a spoiler. It's in the freaking skill list.
All right, I didn't want to.
So I unlocked the ability to use it. I'm not quite sure how to get it. It says that I need to make it, but then it's not in my, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I just got it, so it's not,
Adam,
it's not like I'm going through this game without it.
You'd like it. It just becomes Dying Light. Just becomes Just Cause in first person. You just get to zip around the fucking place with this grappling.
It doesn't start that way. I don't know. Dying Light's pretty good. It's not blowing me away.
It seems to me like I wouldn't buy it full price. So maybe 20, 25 quid. I don't know.
If you're getting burnt out, this is advice to people. If you're getting burnt out on all the side quests, because there are a lot, don't do them. The main story is good. Is better than the side quests. So there are some good side quests, but there's a lot of bad ones too. So maybe it's not worth looking through the bad ones to find the good ones.
Again, this is another one of those games where the reviews were very all over the place, but people
that's weird to me.
People seem to love it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like in terms of on paper, it's a competent video game. Like it's, especially when Assassin's Creed has higher review scores than this game. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like what are we doing to ourselves?
I think it's because
Assassin's Creed is barely playable.
Yeah, barely.
When it first came out, you might not even say it was playable. This game hits all the notes. Like it works. It looks all right. It has an objective that makes sense. It's got quests. It's got content.
That was one of the review points in Far Cry 4. It was like, oh, it's a Ubisoft game and it works. Every game is meant to work. Don't give it extra kudos because it works and it's from Ubisoft. Don't do that. Just shame the other ones.
So there have been far less towers. Like I remember last week, I'm like, oh, thank God there are no towers in here. Haha. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then there was totally 2 towers that I had to climb. There haven't been any since. So
they all seem to have a pretty similar look and feel.
Exactly.
To Ubisoft games,
Yeah.
whether it's Far
because they
Cry
all have
or Watch Dogs, they just seem similar.
They all have go to the spot on the map, climb this thing, reveal more spots on map.
Their design is just so similar.
I'm so sick of it. I am so sick.
The Ubisoft formula, yeah.
Yes,
Even
the
the
Ubisoft
crew has towers.
Yes.
Oh my! How the fuck does a car climb
it does.
a tower? How the hell is that?
It's not like quite towers. It's like ramps or something. But it's
car does parkour.
But they're basically. Yeah, I mean, basically.
Holy shit!
Still drive to a place, do a thing in the car to unlock more areas on the map. Like, it's
fuck
so dumb.
off! That sounds awful. There's towers in a fucking driving game. Go away.
I'm not even sure that was a good idea when it first came out.
The crew.
Like, just tell me that there is stuff on the map and I will go to it. I shouldn't have to climb this stupid thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was experimental in Assassin's Creed 1. I don't know why that's the thing that is being carried over to other games from Assassin's Creed.
I hope people just kind of wake up now at Ubisoft anyways and just go, maybe we shouldn't make every game look the same or have the same mechanics.
And all of their side quests suck.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Tail this guy.
If the Division has, like, towers, I'll just blow a gasket. Really?
The Division looks cool.
It does, but
I will cry if that is a Ubisoft
Oh, that's going to be as generic
in
as
the
the rest
sense
of them.
of Ubisoft. No, it can't be.
I don't know.
It will have broken co-op.
No.
And it will push for multiplayer
Stop it.
and fail at it.
Stop it.
That's just the way it
You're
works.
just like, Alan's
so
like the
cool.
guy who's like revealing to Randy that Santi's
That
real.
game-
He's like, shut up,
The
you're
game,
wrong.
the game looks like Destiny. Like the promise of it is like Destiny. You know what I mean? Like it's a third person shooter with like co-op and open worldy. Like it looks, I don't know.
The thing that really kind of made me go, now, what he is like, was when they were like revealing it and they had the chatter between the players and it turns out, oh, those are the actual people playing the game. They're like, can you check up that spot over there? Yeah, sure, I'm gonna head on there. Oh, activate your whatever. And I'd be like, if this is real, like, maybe it'd be like a PC game.
I mean, obviously
it'd be
they're
different.
exaggerated,
But if it was a console game, it'd be like, just go down there, you noob faggot. That's exactly
Right.
what it'd be.
But also, like the two things that did it for me is one, when it looked like just a generic third person shooter. That what you're talking about was helping. That it was co-op. I'm like, yeah, but Gears of War does that, so who cares?
Yeah.
But then in the very first trailer they show, he opens up a chest and a bunch of stats pop up and say like, ooh, like, and it's like green and red, like better in some spots and red in other. I'm like, ooh, gear.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my favorite game of all time.
And then after that, he picks up the gear and then like, oh god, there's the other team, and like it seemed to think that there are two factions that if you run into them, it turns into like a PvP match.
Yeah,
which is also cool.
That
game's gonna suck,
I don't know. I will wait with beta press for Division because
it's not like I'm gonna like line up at GameStop around the block. I never do that. I've only been to GameStop midnight launches twice.
I've done that once, and I went after everyone else went in, and that was for GTA 5. Like I
did it once for Modern Warfare 2,
nice.
That was a big deal, and once for Batman Arkham City because boy, was Arkham Asylum really good.
Oof, Arkham Knight, can't wait.
Oh man, that's a game that's coming out too.
I read somewhere, like spoiler, that it's going to be the last in the series.
Didn't they kind of say that though?
Yeah.
They said like the conclusion to Rocksteady's Batman trilogy.
Well, that can only mean like one of two things: either Batman dies or he doesn't. So, I mean,
or it could be that Rocksteady's done after this, and they'll just put it on somebody else.
No, I understand, but I mean the Arkham series might be done. I hope Rocksteady do another.
I bet it's
superhero.
No, well, yeah, but I hope they stop.
Oh,
end on a high. They seem like the kind of folks who would actually do that.
As in,
no, they will
close the studio,
but it's not up to them.
No, they.
No, I don't think. No,
yeah.
Like Naughty Dog just finished that series on something else.
No, what they're going to do is they're going to finish it, and then WB is going to be like, "Hey, we own this. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
We're going to give it to somebody else." That's what they're going to do.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Arkham
Origins.
I mean, Origins
Arkham Origins,
bad.
as much as I like it, should not have happened.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a bit like.
That was a publisher decision.
Yeah,
sure.
right. Exactly. It was a great copy of something that was already.
I liked it.
That's the best.
A lot of people didn't. I don't know why, because it was basically Arkham City. But
it pretty much was. Story was a bit better. I mean, it wasn't as fucking crazy as Arkham City. It was a bit more.
Arkham City had some good story moments.
But Arkham City is a bit of like, let's
Overall,
get everyone in.
The story in Arkham Origins was better, yes. And
Yeah.
I think that was the one thing everybody was like, yeah, the story is better in this than it. I think Arkham Asylum is still the best one.
Oh yeah.
It's just so tight, so good.
The Joker section, or not Joker section.
Doesn't matter.
Scarecrow
I will
section.
play.
So
Yeah.
good. So good.
I will play the next, surprise, I will play the next Batman game.
I hope it's good, because I am not completely sold on the Batmobile
Even if it's not,
Bat Tank, whatever.
Even if it's not, I have to.
Yeah. Has to be done. Even just for the story, at least.
I have faith in them for it to not be bad. It might not blow me away, but it's not going to be bad. Come on.
No, of course, yeah.
It's not going to be.
Just think
There's no way.
Just think of the step up from, like...
I would buy it just for how
Asylum.
it looks.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks
yeah.
unbelievable.
Like the step up from City from Asylum. Like, if this new game, Arkham Knight, is like that, in terms of leap, like, I'll be so blown away. Cause,
I do have no interest in the Batmobile, though.
I don't know. It's just, it's a bit off. I don't know. I like it.
In the other one, you were literally flying.
Yeah, but...
So, how is Batmobile?
No, I mean, but when you're flying, you weren't, like, shooting at people, you know?
And that makes no sense either. Unfortunately, everyone in Gotham decides to stay home. Because...
Thank God.
Otherwise, Batman would be blowing you up.
Now I can unveil my huge fucking nuclear weapon. Shoot at bad guys.
The Bat Nuke.
Yeah, the Bat Nuke.
I watched Dark Knight Rises again for the first time since theaters.
I haven't seen that since I watched it in theaters. It was super long.
As a whole? I liked it in theaters. I liked it a lot less watching it again. See, my girlfriend has never seen the Batman Begins trilogy.
Yeah.
So we watched all of them in order over a course of a few weeks, and Batman Begins and Dark Knight just seem to get better every time I see them. I don't know why.
Yeah. I love Batman
Begins. I just love those movies. And the Dark Knight Rises comes on, and I'm like, there's some good stuff here, but no, it's not as good, and it made me sad. Like, I wish I hadn't seen it, because I remember I enjoyed it in the theater. Bane's just not as good.
No,
he's just not.
Even the fight they had wasn't as
the one scene where he is good. I won't spoil it, but when they are fighting for the first time, is the only good scene in which Bane doesn't suck.
That's because, like, it's practically a mirror of the comic, right? There's a lot of
You know what?
fight scenes and stuff.
Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to spoil this movie. If you haven't seen it,
If you
me
haven't
30
seen
seconds.
it and you're listening to a podcast on the internet and you're a fan of movies, then I don't know.
I mean, it's only 2 years old, so I don't want to be like... It's almost 3, I guess, at this point. But
Go on, fire away.
the part where Bane isn't actually the villain is the worst thing in the world. He makes the... He's like super bad, like, yeah, I heard the brain of marketing. And just like, you're supposed to take this guy seriously, but he's basically just a freaking trained dog that does what he's told. And they're building him up, they're like, oh man, he was kicked out of the League of Shadows because he's just so bad. he's so extreme for even the League of Shadows. Wasn't he actually him calling the shots? So why was he kicked out of the stupid League of Shadows?
The way you described that made him sound like a bad guy in The Karate Kid. He got kicked out of Cobra Kai. He's not tough.
I mean, that's exactly what they say. Like, he was kicked out of the League of Shadows because he was too extreme. If he's too extreme for the League of Shadows, just how crazy is he? And then, like, throughout the movie, he does some really bad, cool stuff. In theory, like on paper. I still think his performance is still kind of corny, but then it's revealed that it's not even his call. Like, the whole time he was just following orders. Ridiculous. So this villain that we're supposed to take seriously the whole time is just a hired gun, a hired muscle. Ridiculous. It's bad.
The final third of Dark Knight Rises kind of screws the pooch.
Well, they also revealed Blake as being Robin, and it was like, come on.
Yeah.
I hate Robin. That's one thing I will say. I just hate him. Don't like Robin. He doesn't make any sense. Like, not enough of his face is covered for anyone to be like, hey, aren't you...
No, I'm not sure.
Aren't you Dick Grayson? Like, no, what are you talking about? I mean, you're on the news all the time with this guy that has similar build as Batman, and you're around him all the... Like, no. My eyes are covered. You don't know what you're talking about.
I really didn't like the ending to Dark Knight Rises because it didn't seem like a Nolan ending at all. Compare the ending to that to Inception,
fan
where
service
you don't know
ending.
what the ending to Inception is. It's
No,
what
I
you
hated
think
the
it
ending
is.
to it. I hated the ending to Inception.
But
Hated it.
But what I'm saying is it's not a Nolan style ending for.
But the ending to
Rises.
Inception is him screwing with you and nothing else. He clearly knows the end because he waits too long. He spoilers for Inception.
Shit. Yeah, go ahead. Inception does not
when he-
hold up, by the way. It's very, very slow.
No, I think it's still good.
super slow.
It
If you
is
know
slow,
how
but
it
it's
works, it's
I
very
still
slow.
think it's a good movie. I've seen it more than once, and I still liked it. So that's the test. If you like it more than once, then
It's a good movie.
it's still good. Yeah. But he zooms in on the top for way too long, and then it starts to wobble, and then it cuts out.
Yes.
So he knows the ending. He just doesn't want you to know the ending. It's not as simple as like looking at the top for half a second, being like, "Oh, is it?" Not even he knows. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't know.
Wasn't-
No, he knows.
wasn't,
He's just screwing with you.
Wasn't the
Made me
twist
mad.
that wasn't his? I can't remember the thing you call it, but it was his wedding ring was the thing that knows what do you call that thing? Where
That
they
might
know
be
what
a theory. I don't remember the constant or something. I
Yeah,
don't even
sure.
know if that's-
Yeah,
I
apparently
don't
the
know if it's
theory was that
constant.
it was his wedding ring that was the constant, whatever it's called. So yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense. Why would he spin the top around then just for funsies?
Yeah, sure, why not? He's a quirk. It's
a weird
it's
guy.
a red herring, okay?
No, I hated that ending. I was so mad.
But what I was saying was, for Dark Knight Rises, when Alfred looks up, and like I was thinking, oh, they're going to cut it here, but then
Okay, we're still spoiling Batman if we had.
How did I spoil it if I said he looks up? That's right.
Well, it
there's a
depends
lot of
on what
looking.
you say when it
wasn't
depends on
gonna.
what
No, I
he
wasn't
sees
gonna.
when he looks
I
up.
wasn't going to. I'm not going to ruin Batman for all of you
Okay.
lovely people.
No, we are still going to talk about Batman because how the heck does Bruce Wayne know what hotel he goes to on this exact specific day? Does Bruce Wayne just go to every hotel every day and be like, hey, maybe Alfred's going to show up here? How does he know?
Coincidence? It's a movie. Who
No,
cares?
it's not okay.
That's
Yeah, no,
that's my answer for everything.
In any other movie, I might accept it. Nolan takes too long to try to make it, to have an explanation for everything for me to accept it. You know what I mean? There's an
Yeah.
explanation for the bat ears.
Which is?
There's an antenna in it.
Okay. Surely you could just have one antenna, one bat ear then. Why does he have to have two?
But that looks stupid.
Yeah, but it looks stupid anyways. Wait, just have a normal radio or something, I don't know.
No, because it doesn't matter. He has an explanation for it.
There you go.
It just doesn't...
Whatever.
Like, it doesn't have to be a good explanation. Just give me a reason. Give me a reason that he would do this, and yeah, whatever. So we're gonna done talking about Christopher Nolan movies. Memento, though. No,
I haven't seen it. Don't say where it's
Yeah, I've seen half of it, and I can't remember.
So you saw the last half?
Oh, wait, sorry, no, Memento.
Which one's... No,
I
wait.
thought you meant Interstellar.
I haven't seen it.
Wait. You haven't seen Interstellar either. We should probably...
I almost have no interest in
it. We should watch it. Have a little review.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
How long
just
is it?
have a...
Is that really long?
If it's a Christopher Nolan movie, it's probably 4 hours.
4 hours.
Anyway.
Wait, hold on. What's that movie that came out recently with Tom Hanks, and it's like like in the future, in the past, and the present?
Oh, Cloud Atlas?
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Yeah, apparently that's getting like a 4-hour cut on Netflix.
Woo!
And I was like, and apparently it's meant to blow you away, according to Netflix.
Oh,
guy.
wow. That movie?
Yeah.
That came and went.
Yeah, no, but it's getting a 4-hour cut.
Why?
Because it'll blow you away.
Did it blow people away the first time?
Dunno, but the Netflix guy says, the Netflix chief says it will. So there you go. Apparently he said when he went to see Jupiter Ascending, which apparently is shite.
Apparently. Alright, well, are there any news stories to talk about?
Sure. We got
Peter Molyneux is apparently an ass.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah, that's right.
That's great.
Adam took the words right out of my mouth. So
I don't know if
I
don't know if he's
idea.
intentionally being an a-hole, but at the same time, like, come on.
Okay.
He's not handling this correctly.
Right. So we need to kind of, just in case anyone doesn't know.
Peter Molyneux has been working on Goddess for 8 million years.
Yeah.
He promised the guy at the end of Curiosity that he was going to give a profit to him. Like, he's going to give 1% of the proceeds of Goddess to that guy because he won that contest.
Well, okay.
He's not getting it.
He basically said,
Goddess,
"I would make him a god. I would make you a god in the game and give you loads of
the
money."
game
and
still is not even playable.
no,
So, and it's been 3 years?
2 years, I think.
I think it's 2012.
Oh, okay. Well, 3 years since. Yeah. Go on.
And it just, he's been I mean, this is the Peter Molyneux way, is to make up promises that he can't keep, but it's even worse when he's like, yeah, we'll finish the game in 7 months, and then 3 years later, it's still not even close.
I mean,
And another thing is that he said he would never do a publisher, and then he got a publisher.
yeah. He basically
And
says
another
he doesn't
thing
want to talk
is
to the press ever again.
he says that he intentionally undershot the Kickstarter because he didn't think people would do it otherwise. He knew he wouldn't. He basically knew in the back of his mind that that his Kickstarter wouldn't be enough. He actually got way more than the Kickstarter actually was, and he still didn't have enough money to finish the game. So he went to a publisher. So he basically lied about the amount of money that he said. Yes, Peter Molyneux. Stand up guy.
I heard him saying that he had to lie in the Kickstarter deliberately. He's like, well, you made me do it. I wasn't getting my $100,000, so
If
I
you
had
guys
to lie.
haven't
You
read
have to do- you have to
the-
do the Peter Molyneux voice.
Kickstarter's ruined my game because it made me make
Kickstarter.
promises and I can't keep them, and it's all your fault for giving me this money.
But picture the Kickstarter where
Imagine a ball, but every time you bounce the ball, someone in Africa loses their life. This is the new game for Peter Molyneux.
imagine a Kickstarter that makes you feel love.
Right, you guys are about on Twitter. You need to follow Peter Molyneux. It's the
Molyneux,
fucking
yeah.
best
I know what Molyneux
Twitter
is.
account of all time. This guy just makes up like Peter Molyneux-esque
Just stupid, like
games. Like, here's one. Why are games made to be completed in a lifetime? Imagine a game that asks players to pass it down to younger generations to complete.
That's not a horrible idea.
And the thing is, this guy comes up with every so often he has a little bit of a. That's a good idea.
I remember there was an interview with Peter Molyneux about that account. He gets read some of them. He's like, there's something to that.
Here we go. Here's another one. Imagine an FPS where your hair can overgrow and obstruct your view.
Wait, hang on. What is it? Peter Molyneux?
Molyneux.
Petermolydeux.
Oh, I see it.
Here's another one. Game where you have to sneak a horse into a hospital so that a dying patient can say goodbye to their best friend.
They made a game jam about his tweets, which is great. Oh yeah.
So
follow.
It's great. It's very good. So I was reading about the Curiosity winner. The dude's name is Brian Henderson. This is on Eurogamer, by the way. This interview, and it was just talking about the whole process of like what happened when he won. And apparently, he went over to the studio to play the game. The studio 22 Cans, and when they all went out. Afterwards, they all went out for a drink afterwards. Apparently, no one talked to him. They all turned their back to him and just did not speak to him at all. This guy was a contest winner, and he was basically there to give the game a go. And everyone should have been making an effort to talk to him and be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? What are you studying? Blah blah blah." But apparently, people just like when he was there, they just turned their back to him and just didn't talk to him. And I was like, "Good God, that is poor." Like, especially in a pub environment where it's just this guy got flown out on their money, and he's just sitting there, just not talking to them, which is very, very. That's
rude.
That's sad as well.
Yeah. Is it bad that now I'm trying to think of like which thumbnail to use? Now I'm thinking of like Peter Molyneux in a Batman mask for a thumbnail for the podcast.
Oh, nice.
But I don't. I'm too lazy to do that. So.
I want to make an endless runner where you run with your family who eventually grow old and pass away. You keep running forever alone. This is like the best Twitter account. Yeah, here we go. Game where you live in fridges and can teleport to others, rearranging food to keep nice people healthy and dangerous people unhealthy.
That's not bad. All right.
Good shit.
If you want to read more Peter Molyneux, if you're listening to this podcast, the 30 of you probably already know about it. So, whatever. What else?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of game news this week. So Rayman is coming to Smash, it seems.
Oh,
Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond is coming to Smash Brothers. All right, Deb.
All right.
I'm going to use
really
my
much to say about that.
Power attack.
I don't get it because he has nothing to do with Nintendo at all. But
I don't know. It's a weird crossover, I guess.
He's been on Nintendo systems. I'll give him that.
I want to see Bayonetta on Super Smash now. I mean, if they got Snake...
I mean, you might as well. I think, like...
If they got Snake last time, they got to get Bayonetta for this one.
But Snake made sense, kind of, because he had a remake on the... Like, Rayman does not have...
Yeah, but Nintendo
an exclusive Nintendo game.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Bayonetta. Yeah, no, it's weird. Oh, wait, no. Well, is Rayman... I can't remember the names of them, even though I have them. Rayman
has been on Nintendo, but none of his games that exclusively star him have... I don't know, I don't even think... I was going to say maybe Raving Rabbids, but no, that was on other things too, so I don't know.
Well, Rayman Legends was meant to be Wii U exclusive,
but it wasn't.
So maybe I don't know.
Maybe there's like somewhere in the contract, be like, hey,
we get to use them.
We can also use Rayman.
Yeah.
I don't freaking care.
Yeah, who cares, whatever.
If you don't use it for free.
He's a guy with no limbs. That's that.
So wait, do you have to pay money for this?
I do not know. All I know is
if you do, boo.
Yeah, boo earns. Moving on. New Just Cause 3 trailer. The only news coming out of that really is it's coming out in holiday 2015. So, woo.
Adam, say your piece about Just Cause 3 and then we can move on.
In the meantime, play Just Cause 2 because that's really good also.
It's alright.
It's the best open world game ever made.
Absolutely.
Well, it's got the best open world traversal mechanics.
Yeah.
I.e. the grappling hook and parachutes.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. And the unlimited parachutes.
And you can stand and stop on top of planes while flying them as they slowly descend.
Ah, yes, the classic stunt jump.
And there's an island based on Lost.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so good.
There's a bubble gun. There's a parachute. There's a blimp. There's
It's a good game. The bubble gun is amazing. The best. Oh, the bit where you blow up the whale to get the...
There's a fake shark fin.
Oh, yeah.
Fake shark just like hovering around. You grapple onto it and you find just a mechanical fin with a little kind of propeller underneath it. Tiny propeller.
Alright, moving on.
It goes in circles around this small little lake and you just go around in circles with it for as long as you want. It's brilliant.
My favourite thing to do in that was grapple hook to a propane tank, shoot the bottom of the propane tank and go flying into the air.
Yes.
So good. That game is just a beautiful game. You can do anything in that game.
There's a flying disco on a blimp.
Like a disco ball?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the blimp, but I don't remember the disco.
And when you're flying by it, you can hear. What's that noise?
That's pretty good.
My favorite thing to do was find a statue.
No!
Find a statue, hook up the Jeep to it, drive the Jeep really fast, and then fucking pop the head off it. But sometimes the truck wouldn't be fast enough, so like I was in a tuk-tuk before, things flipped 180 in the air. Beautiful. Great game.
All right.
Anyways, moving on. There's a new Tony Hawk game coming this year, which is I'm excited because he said it's appealing to the old fans of Tony Hawk games. Which
he said that last time.
Hey, if there's no ride, I'll be happy. If there's no fucking
Tony Hawk HD,
stupid ass controller, I'll be happy. Which I forgot about that. I didn't play that. I've only played Pro.
Yeah, nobody liked it.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 was the one I played a lot of. I think that was the one with college. I can't remember. But, yeah.
There's a college level in every freaking Tony Hawk.
Well, there's one at the zoo as well. And...
Yeah, I think that was 4. That was the last one I played was 4.
Oh, you went to London in it as well. Oh, you get to play as Matt Hoffman. I remember that.
Wait, in 4?
I think so. Oh, yeah. Tony Hawk game.
Didn't Matt Hoffman have a skateboarding game too? Or was it, no, it was Shaun White. Or maybe it was both.
I
don't know.
Shaun White definitely had one. No, he did snowboarding.
Yes,
game.
the snowboarding.
He had a snowboarding and skateboarding. I remember, like, he originally had the snowboarding one, and then they made a skateboarding one after. I think it was on the Dreamcast. Anyways, doesn't matter.
I hope
Moving on.
Hope new Tony Hawk's good. It should be.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope every game is good. If every game is good, it'd make my life easier.
Oh, haha. So there's a bit of a kerfuffle recently about The Last Guardian. And the trademark...
In that it's never coming out?
The trademark was dropped, and then the SCEE, whatever the fuck, said...
Sony Computer Entertainment of America.
No, the SCEE.
Of Europe.
Yeah. Said it was still in development. So, that game is the Half-Life 3 of consoles, right there.
I'm going to do a video chronicling every rumor and dropped ball and false claim of The Last Guardian.
The weird thing about it is that game...
Just that moment after Shadow of the Colossus comes out, up to now, and all the things that's been promised, and trailers, and speculation, and rumors, and cancellations, and
the game I
want to chronicle all that.
That's the weird thing about it, is that it wasn't even a planned announcement. Like, they came out and they leaked it. So that means they were working on it before anyone even knew about what it was, and then nothing.
Here, I've got a question. What the fuck is that studio even doing? Like, if they're
that's what I said.
Being paid a lot of money to sit there and do nothing.
How do they have money?
Not in terms of money, but what the fuck are the people working there doing? Like
nothing.
I mean, come on.
They're playing other games.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. Do they do that in Japan?
Probably. I don't know. Monster Hunter. There you go. Play shit.
Yeah, there you go. They're just sitting around with Monster Hunter and Pokemon.
To be like, there's monsters in this game. Maybe we should make a game with monsters in them.
Puzzle and dragons.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to find out how many people they have in their team.
6.
Go for it.
Team ICO staff. How many people do they have employed?
Does this play... Okay. Does Team ICO exist?
Is it just one fella?
Is it just a guy there that they can say they have Team ICO?
Call it T-ICO. So they can...
Maybe it's this elaborate ruse. Like, next system they'll come out like, oh yeah, we're staffing up. We're gonna...
it turns out ICO is just a...
Because it can't come out on PS3 anymore, can it? No. Is that acceptable?
Probably not.
Oh, it's not coming out on PS3.
No. But that was
it originally was.
That was the thing, that people were like, oh, you should buy a PS3 because Last Guardian's coming on PS3.
Yeah, and now it's like, well, I mean, now Last Guardian's probably going to come to PS4, so maybe you should buy one of those. So maybe that's the plan. It's just to get people, it's to get those crazy people that are still holding out hope for Last Guardian to buy the new system because they still think it's coming.
But if you bought friggin' a PS3 because you want to play Last Guardian, it's solely because you want to play Last Guardian, you're an idiot.
Why?
Because, like, who buys a game or a console?
The game was promised to people.
But it didn't...
They showed gameplay.
Yes, but it wasn't... Did they?
I mean, they showed a trailer that was in-engine.
Oh. Well, they did that with
There was a game there. There's no reason to believe that game was not coming out.
But it didn't, and it hasn't.
And there are people out there that, like, Their lives were changed because of Team Ico games.
But if you just bank on that solely for that one game, you're crazy. You're madness. Like,
right, but maybe they wanted other stuff, and that was just like the big selling point. It's like, oh,
like
I get
there's
some other games that I'm interested in.
I get it for people who buy the new 3DS because Majora's Mask on it. Like, well, yeah, it's already out, and you want to play it. Sorry, Randy, but I understand that because it's already out. But
there are people that buy. That's a bad example because Nintendo releases games.
That's true.
You buy a Nintendo system, there's going to be a Mario, there's going to be a Zelda, there's going to be whatever. I don't know anyone that would buy, especially nowadays, would buy a Sony system just because like, oh, I can't wait for the next God of War, I guess.
Just
Uncharted, maybe?
Yeah, Uncharted, I would guess.
Yeah.
But do
you remember the rumors of God of War going Greek? Not Greek, but going Roman?
Ooh.
I did not.
But that's kind of...
That'd be cool.
How would that work?
There are rumors that they were going to like just finish with God of War and they're just going to have a new, similar combat, similar feel, but exploring Roman mythology.
That is a good question, though. How would that work?
Because it's kind of the same already, just different names with the gods and stuff.
Well, how much
story?
How many monsters?
They're out of ideas for after bloody Ascension. They're just wipe their hands.
I remember writing that huge ass article on like what if they went to the Nordic, which is actually
ooh, that would be cool, but not as recognizable.
Yeah, that's true.
God
because
of War space.
There's a lot of gods.
I think Nordic is where they would need to go because I think otherwise it's Greek and Roman cross in my mind like a lot.
They are interchangeable a lot of times. Like,
they all wear togas. Who cares?
Have great parties.
Yeah, let Kratos be a Viking.
I don't know. Maybe cool. It could work. Anyways, okay. So here's another bit.
Wait,
news.
Did you mean Norse mythology?
Yeah, Norse. Sorry, what did I say? Nordic.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Just kind of like a Skyrim-esque mythology. I don't know. Anyways, Square Enix says they would have said allow revivals of their old franchises. So that includes Fear Effect, Gex, and I imagine
they own Fear Effect and Gex.
I think so. Yeah. Apparently, what else? Freedom Fighters. I want to see if they would do Bushido Blade again because I remember people really liking.
Define revival. Is this like
as in
a port? Because that's what
they
do.
So they will allow independent developers to pitch ideas to make use of some of the publisher's old intellectual properties. I assume, Square Enix needs to approve it. And
Square Enix is becoming the company of remakes and ports.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
That's true.
Pretty soon they're going to put like Final Fantasy VII up on a big screen again and be like, yeah, you guys wanted it. It's Final Fantasy VII for the 3DS.
Yeah. So apparently, Square Enix says they'll take a chunk of the money, larger than usual cut. Because, what they need.
Is that their press release? They're like, yeah, we'll just take all your money.
It says here, I'm reading off GameSpot, it says they will take an additional 10% of net sales as a licensing fee. So if someone wants to revive Gex, they better have a, good idea and hope it sells.
How much more news do we have?
Just one more. This is a bit of a humdinger.
Get it in there because I want to get like a couple of Steam reviews out there.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so The Order 1886. This game for PS4. Some fella got his hands on it and he was playing it on YouTube and he cleared the game in 5 hours, right?
Right.
Now the studios come out and said this guy just blasted his way through it and he didn't take his time, right? And he says it would actually take between 8 to 10 hours to complete the game. So, apparently, on top of that, there's not a lot of replayability. You're kind of just playing it for the story.
There's no multiplayer.
No multiplayer, yeah. It's kind of like a, one shot, one punch kind of thing. But, I don't know, lots of articles, rebuttal articles have been coming out saying, is it right to justify paying $60, €60, whatever, for this game when it's only 10 hours?
Yes, it is.
Well, this article was on GameSpot, he said, he's like, if you're paying the same amount of money for, let's say, Call of Duty or Destiny, where you can continuously play these games, you get value for money, but compare that to The Order, where you can just kind of play it once and that's it, because there's not much replay value to it. However, I would suggest that if the experience is good, if it's a 5 hour experience, but it's great, then yeah, you get your money's worth because you pay for the experience. You're not paying to play the game over and over and over again where it'll just get diluted. Like, I would rather pay for 10 hours of or 5 hours, I said. 5 hours of a great game as opposed to pay 20 hours
20 hours of a crappy one, yes. Like,
so I said I'd rather play Vanquish over something else, that was just like 20 hours long. It was okay.
But for a big blockbuster,
well,
if it's like...
But you don't know. Like, we don't know, and the reviews come out tomorrow.
Oh,
you don't know
I do know how long it is. It's around 8 to 10 hours.
Right, you know how long it is, but you don't know how good those 8 to 10 hours are.
But if
they're crap, then yeah, obviously don't buy them, but...
It doesn't look that good, though. The combat looks really bland.
But we don't know.
But I'm just saying, from what I've seen,
maybe the story is incredible.
Is it, though? I mean,
we don't know. Like, I'm saying, like, if the answer is, like, if a game has to have a certain amount of hours for people to buy, I don't accept that, because The Last of Us, that could have been a couple hours shorter, and it still would have been worth the purchase for me without multiplayer. Like, it depends on the quality of the... Like, The Last of Us wasn't that long, was it? It was like 16, 15?
That's pretty long, though. I mean...
Yeah, but... Like, if it was only single player, you'd only play it once. Or maybe. Or if you want to play it again. But, like... I don't know. If the story is good enough, like, sure. I just don't... If it's bad, then yes, everything great. Yeah, great. But if it's bad, then no amount of hours is going to make me want to play it. So, I don't know. If your value proposition is, can I play it multiple times? Is there a lot here? Or is there multiplayer? Then maybe don't buy this. It's not for you. Like, if you're looking for a good, again, I don't know the quality of the game yet, but if you're looking for a really good, tight, short experience, then maybe pick it up. Like, who cares? Like, if you know whether or not that money, like, it's their right to make it however long they want. If people are willing to buy it, then people are going to buy it. Like, it's not like, as far as I know, they're not charging extra money for content of the game. They're just like, they're putting it out there. But there's no DLC yet.
Okay, right. Here's the thing. It's this game in particular that is getting people, like, annoyed. You're paying this much money because this game is practically cutscene. A lot of it is interactive cutscenes, and there's not a whole lot of gameplay to it. It's just kind of like shooting, Gears of War style, whatever. But the gameplay is ingrained with the cutscenes. So, like, if you're playing,
as far as we know, same with something like The Last of Us. The Last of Us cinematics alone are 2 hours. You add in-game cutscenes, the kind of like semi-little, like, back and forth with characters. Yeah. That's another hour. Right.
But what I'm saying is that, like, you also have, like, traversal on The Last of Us, and, like, you get to pick up stuff, and, like,
but who cares?
But what I'm saying is the gameplay and the cinematics are, like, practically blended together. You're watching a lot of cutscenes in the order, as opposed to The Last of Us. The Last of Us,
as far as we know.
But what I'm saying is, from what they've shown, I mean, they wouldn't show it if that wasn't what they wanted people to know.
They show that because it looks cool. I mean, they don't want.
Yes, that's a good point, Randy. That's like the trailer style thing. Let's just they know they have the hardcore fans hooked. They're now trying to get the casuals involved.
They want they want the explosions. They want the near death experiences. That's what the stuff they want to show off, because
that's a very good point.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying, I could be wrong here. Maybe it comes out and it's nothing but big bombastic cutscene explosion craziness. But why would you show off the slow parts when you want to hook the people in? It's like the Michael Bay trailer. Like, who shows the Shia LaBeouf acting scenes in the Transformers movie? No one freaking sees that. They show the crazy explosions and stuff.
But what they showed off, I think it was the PlayStation event or E3, whatever it was, the bit with the werewolf section. A lot of that was cutscene, and there was a tiny bit of gameplay to it. But, like, that's what I'm saying. That's all they've been showing off. There hasn't been any gameplay that shows.
But that's what Call of Duty does too.
Yeah, but Call of Duty has gameplay. You get to see the guns, you get to see the gadgets they use, and, like, the
he shoots people in the thing. They showed off two sections. I saw sections where they literally got behind cover and changed weapons and shoot enemies, and they also showed the werewolf section. So there is gameplay for confirmed. There is a game there.
But is it enough?
So, like, why is that? Well, that's up to you. Like, that is up to the person that is buying it. Like, if that's not good enough for you, then maybe don't buy it. But I'm not going to blame them for making the game they want to make. If they want to make a cinematic, like, narrative-driven, linear shooter, then that's what they're going to do, and that's fine. Like, if And not to mention, the way that game looks, I wouldn't doubt that game costs a lot of money to make.
Yeah.
Like, just, that game looks really nice.
They made their own engine from scratch as well.
Yeah, that looks real good. Like, there are times that I see the commercial for it, and there's a brief second where I'm like, oh, wait, what? Is that real? Like, there are split seconds where I'm like, is that a live action trailer? And
I guess
I'm not saying that's worth it for a lot of people, but
who knows? We'll see how it goes.
You know whether or not the kind of game you want to play. If you're on a tight budget and you buy one game every 6 months, this isn't the game you're going to buy. But if you want if you've got disposable income and you want to really again, I'm basically repeating what I just said. But if you have disposable income and you know the kind of game you like, then go for it. Otherwise, wait. Like I can't blame them for this. Like there's nothing gross about this. Like if people are willing to buy it, then charge what they need to charge, and it looks like it costs a lot of money to make. It's just a big blockbuster narrative thing. Like if they had multiplayer, if they had crappy multiplayer, would people complain? Probably not.
Yeah, like
because it has multiplayer. But who cares?
I'm not disputing
Tomb Raider had multiplayer. No one gives a crap about the multiplayer in Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider's about as long as.
But Tomb Raider had a lot too. It had a lot, like a progression system, had tombs to explore. This game is just linear. But
did we know that when?
Did we know that?
That's what I'm saying. It's like it hasn't to
nobody's played the game.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's freaking out that no one knows what it's like yet.
But they should have said something.
Let's take a step back.
But what I'm saying is that people are giving out and saying there's not a lot to it. Surely should say, oh, well, we're going to have this and this and then we're going to have a lot of other stuff apart from what you see. Just wait. But they haven't said it. But
maybe what we see is awesome. Is the part that I'm not understanding. Like, we don't know how good that's... even if it comes out and that's all it is, maybe it's the greatest freaking cinematic... Like, who knows?
It looks like just relax. Cinematic game, but...
Let's wait for the reviews.
On the 20th.
Oh, boy.
It comes out two days from now, right? Like
I've heard
2
from
days
a couple
from
of people
the recording.
I've heard from a couple of people who've actually played it, and they said that it's a rental.
There you go.
Which is fine.
Which is
again, that's just two people. So,
but why is everyone freaking out over this? I guess that's the thing that I don't understand.
Okay, I'm thinking
Mirror's Edge. That game is super short. That game has no multiplayer at all. What's the difference?
Gameplay has great gameplay.
Maybe the gameplay is great, and nobody knows.
But I'm saying that they should have been showing off a bit more gameplay as opposed to showing off the cutscenes. I don't
know. That is then people should be mad at the marketing team then.
Yeah, maybe playing the marketing.
I don't know. To me, it looks like Gears of War.
It does to me. I
don't know.
But
what's wrong with that?
It's because I don't know.
Why is this the one? Why is this the one where we're like up in arms? Like that's the thing that I don't
because
understand.
It's more cutscene than gameplay, is what I'm saying. It's just a lot.
But so is a lot of games.
But
Azura's Wrath is basically all one giant quick time event, and people love it.
But this isn't that wasn't a AAA blockbuster PS4 seller. This is.
It was like $40.
Yeah, but this is a big game. They're really pushing it out there, and it's.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
I didn't even know it was coming out until this week.
Sony are really trying to get behind it. They're even like, oh, this could be potentially like Uncharted for.
Maybe it is.
The Uncharted for PS3 version.
Keep in mind, Uncharted's not that long either. And that game is also mostly cutscene.
But you collect treasures and cool cheats.
But that part sucks. I hate collecting treasure in Uncharted. I don't ever do that. And who knows, and you're telling me that everybody knows for a fact that there's no collectibles?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They just haven't really...
And even so, you take the collectibles out of Uncharted, does anyone care? Probably not.
Yeah, I guess not.
What people need to calm down. Let's just relax here.
I guess the problem is that
nobody knows what the game is.
Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of no one really knows.
No one's going to go to an E3 press conference and over here you can go slightly off the beaten path to collect this treasure and you'll get a trophy if you collect all of them. No one's going to show that. Uncharted didn't show that either because that's stupid. Uncharted's really short. A lot of people don't care about the multiplayer in Uncharted. There's a lot of people that do, but that's not why most people play Uncharted. People play Uncharted because it's a huge, big blockbuster game that looks really nice. It's got really cool cutscenes, some decent story. That's enough for a lot of people.
I guess, but I don't know. Just Uncharted has more to it, and hopefully the order.
As far as we know, you're saying that you don't know.
I don't know. But okay, if I compare this to a game I played, compare this game.
Mirror's Edge.
No, I won't say Mirror's Edge. I'm just thinking the game in the same kind of vein as in Wolfenstein. It's a single player game, but I still could play it a load of times because they had loads of replayability to it. You know,
It's pretty safe to say that the guy that beat it in 5 hours skipped all the cutscenes, right?
Oh yeah,
But can you?
Perry
Because
played it on easy.
but can you skip the cutscenes? Because the cutscenes, I heard the gameplay.
But let's say he skipped the cutscenes and he got to 5 hours. Let's just say that for argument's sake. Mirror's Edge is about 5 hours long, including cutscenes.
Yeah, that game
So that
gets
means
really
there is 5
bit.
hours without cutscenes, which means there is 5 hours of gameplay.
If you press X during the order, you skip like half the game. You skip cutscenes, just half the game's over.
Whatever. Like, you do that for any game that has cutscenes. You do that to The Last of Us. You do that to Uncharted. You're skipping a lot of the game.
I don't know. I'm actually, but I'm so excited. I don't think I've been this curious about a review for a game in a long time.
I want to play. I think
actually
it looks really
on
nice.
record. I'm on record saying this last year. It's like I can't wait to see the reviews for the order to see just what
new
people
IP,
say.
Bold idea,
basically a
2.35
new
aspect
developer.
ratio.
Basically, a new develop. That's another question mark. Is that the only thing Ready at Dawn has ever done is PSP games up to this point? Maybe
Good
a Vita
PSP
game,
games.
yeah, like that's another
Building
thing.
on the foundations of another developer.
Here it goes. I'm predicting that this game will get high reviews, 8s, 9s, maybe 10s, right? But the review scores will be 6s and 7s because people.
Yeah, it would be split.
Yeah, because
there's not enough game in it.
But here's why people would say, "Oh, the reviewers gave it a high score because they just played the game and they didn't have to pay for it," as opposed to a normal gamer who has to pay for the game and they're like, "I didn't get my money's worth. I didn't get enough out of this game," you know. So they'd be like, "It was okay, but I wouldn't have paid $60 for it." But the review
value is subjective. If this game came out and only had 5 hours of gameplay and then said, "Oh, by the way, if you spend $25 or if you pre-order, we'll give you an extra 2 hours," that would be yes. People should freak out about that. Like that's kind of what Evolve does, right?
I think that's what more reviewers need to take in consideration. Like we're spending this much money on it, and they aren't. They need to go, well, you're getting value for money, you know, or
they're very clearly spending a lot of money making this game.
Right. And
they're not trying to nickel and dime you. They're just putting out what they have, and like, let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. Like, if they came out and said pre-order now for the blah 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 blah, and then buy the season pass for the, I don't even know if there is a season pass. There might be. But
don't know. I think you get pre-order.
Someone fact check that before we get out of here, because I need to know.
It'll be interesting to see the reviews.
It'll be a great discussion next week. I can't wait.
The thing is, this is probably going to go up after the game is out, so this is going to be interesting.
On the 20th, I'm sitting down and I'm propping up GameTrailers.com and I'm going to watch their in-depth video review, the gold standard.
Oh no, Randy, is next week the week you are not present? I think it is.
It totally is.
Ah.
All right, so
what a ball breaker.
well, maybe not, because we might be able to change the day. So we'll think about it.
Nice.
All right, we no longer have time for Steam reviews next week. I promise.
Yes, absolutely.
next time I'm on, I promise we will do it.
Yeah.
So
no worries.
Well, okay. Next time I'm on, and we have more than 2 people, I promise we'll do Steam reviews, because I can't just. All right. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Randy.
All right. Thank you, Nathan.
Cheers, Randy. Thank you very much.
Don't play Majora's Mask. This is Randy again. Get out. I mean, if you want to play Majora's Mask, you're stupid, but go ahead.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't care.
He's offended like half our fan base.
I don't care. There's only one fan that matters. He knows who I'm talking about.
Does he like Majora's Mask?
No.
Oh.
No, he doesn't. Because he's smart and beautiful.
Oh, Ella's going to have a field day when she hears this.
She's not going to hear it. What are we talking about?
Unless someone links it to her. Wink, wink.
Probably. But just give her that long rant of me explaining the opening to the game, and then have her try to refute it.
Yeah.
Because she can't.
I'm going to cut it out and like edit it and animate something to it.
Unless you know ahead of time what you have to do, like that is the experience you will have. So there you go. All right. Thank you everybody for listening. If you did listen, if you're not, I hate you all. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the order next time. That'll be interesting, even though none of us will play it. But
yes.
Cool. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye, Randy. I love you so much. I told you I don't like Majora's Mask. It sucks.
What a sucker.